Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, work resumes across the country after lengthy Christmas holidays. Chief of Army Staff and Governor of Borno State camp with troops in Sambisa Forest as Army reopens major highway. And group meets the needs of internally displaced persons living with disabilities in Yobe State. Thank you so much for joining us. Work resumed today across the country after the Christmas holidays, albeit for a few days. In Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, civil servants were seen arriving early at public offices and their various duty posts. In neighboring Ogun State, public servants reported early at their various offices to attend to government business. And the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Dayo Adineye, wants the workers to put in their best to ensure successful implementation of the government's policies and programs.
Please, let us continue from where we dropped off before the holidays. Let us continue to put in our best and continue to put Ogun in its rightful place in the Committee of States in Nigeria.
The holiday has been so refreshing, interesting, exciting, and relaxing. And as a matter of fact, it has been the tonic needed to really review, reform, and revigor for the challenges at work.
Meanwhile, the governor of Ogun State, Mr. Ibukule Amosun, has handed over 1.5 billion naira in severance packages, allowances, to former political office holders who served the state between 2007 through 2015. At a ceremony in Abeokuta, all the political office holders who served under the former governor of the state, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, were issued with their checks. Addressing them and other dignitaries at the occasion, the governor asked for the continuous understanding and cooperation of all residents of Ogun State in their mission to rebuild the socio-economic fortunes of the state. In all, 663 former political office holders who served the state in their different capacities benefited from the checks distributed. And to the northeastern part of the country, we're going to show you excited Nigerian troops who celebrated as they welcomed the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Toko Buratai, and the Governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, to Damasak. General Buratai, while addressing the troops, insists that Sambisa Forest is now under the control of the Nigerian Army. In the new year, the Army is working out modalities to take complete possession of the vast forest which served as the headquarters for the Boko Haram terrorists.
Jubilant troops of the Nigerian Army in Damasak, a border town in Mobara local government area of Borno State. In a gleeful mood, they flaunt their fitness after the capture of the Sambisa Forest, the former enclave of the defeated Boko Haram insurgents. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuru Buratai, and other military officers are present to celebrate with the troops. And then, the Chief of Army Staff, accompanied by the chairman of the local government, light the campfire. But what next for Sambisa Forest after this liberation? Lieutenant General Buratai reveals the plans for the forest.
The last enclave of the Boko Haram terrorists in the Sambisa Forest has been cleared, and our troops are conducting the exploitation and the mop-up of that forest. We are also opening up roads into the forest, as well as the forest around Alagarno. This Sambisa Forest is going to be one of our training grounds. Next year, 2017, I've already directed that we are going to conduct our Nigerian Army Small Arms Championship in that forest.
For the residents of Damasak and the civilian JTF, the liberation of the town is worth celebrating as they reveal their ordeal.
2014, around 9 in the morning, everybody was just running helter-skelter for his life. And as I'm talking to you now, I spent 5 solid days inside poultry room. The effort of the military brought both the armies and the civilian JTF who are now based in Damasak.
We gave our people, who we selected as informant, and asked them to call anytime there is something going on. And we are spread everywhere. When we see strangers in our midst, we interrogate them, and if we are not satisfied, we hand them over to the army.
And at sunrise, the state government and the Ministry of Defense gather to open up the Maiduguri-Gubbio-Damasak road 3 years after it was captured by the insurgents.
Unfortunately, some international organizations are renting houses in Maiduguri for 5 years, thinking that this madness will continue for the next 5 years. This madness is coming to an end, and by the grace of God, our people are going back to their home.
The Damasak road was closed by the military following the activities of Boko Haram since 2014. The insurgents are taking over population centers of most local government areas along Damasak. Hopeful residents of Damasak, who are mainly farmers, can now live in their community without fear.
Meanwhile, also in the northeast, a measure of succor has come to over 500 internally displaced persons living with disabilities in Yobe State. The internally displaced persons, who comprise of blind people and the aged, amongst others, received food and non-food items at Kukareta camp, located on the outskirts of Damaturu, the state capital.
7 years of insurgency in the northeast have left thousands of residents homeless and at the mercy of government and donor agencies for food, shelter and medical supplies. Natural disasters and fire incidents have not lent any help to their situation. With the press of bodies in the crowd of people trying to get supplies from benefactors, it could be difficult for the frail and disabled to get their share. It is against this backdrop that the Health and Development Support Program is reaching out to this category of IDPs in Kukareta, Yobe State. The organization has an innovative way of reaching this target group.
Our primary aim is to focus on those with disability, and then all the families that are affected, we have registered them, we are giving them cards that we will use to distribute these items to them.
The mission has also screened these residents for health conditions and found a good number to be suffering from effects of the harrowing experiences of Boko Haram occupation.
A lot of them have depression. A lot of them have a post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of the crisis.
They are being left with not only food items and other supplies, but behavioral techniques to deal with mental health challenges.
From the northeast to the northwestern region, troops of the 1 Division of the Nigerian Army deployed to southern Kaduna have arrested 2 people in possession of live ammunition in Kagoma Chiefdom. The general officer commanding 1 Mechanized Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Adeni Oyebade, has also directed immediate deployment of troops to Ninte Jema local government area of the state, a community that has been ravaged with renewed attacks. Reports say the ammunition was discovered when 2 middle-aged men who were driving in a maroon-colored Volkswagen vehicle were flagged down in front of the chief of Kagoma's palace. Meanwhile, normalcy has returned to Kafanchan and Goska, the village that lost at least 10 lives after the bloody coordinated attacks on the 24th and 25th of December. Now, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, a strike situation at the Joint Health Sector of the members of the Joint Health Sector Union in Asaba, Delta State. Please stay with us.